points.
He turns that shoulder, Antwi, but you gotta fire back when Ozgul throws that jab and he catches you on the shoulder. You gotta fire back with the right hand.
Ozgul's trying to hang on. This is back to being how the pattern of the fight was through the first 3.5, 4 rounds.
Nice little left hook there from Antwi as well. Just looks like he's just stolen this round right out of the grasp of Ozgul.
Yeah, nice touch of gloves at the end of that round. Antwi maybe back to where he was before.
Again, he was having a good round, Ozgul, for like the first minute, but then just a little spark of life came into for Antwi's work, a little bit of a bounce in his step, a little bit of rhythm to his work, and he looked so much better at high energy. And Ozgul couldn't even match him for the energy for the first time in the fight. Again, a round there where Ozgul was doing quite well, but Antwi just put his foot on the pedal and took it right out of his grasp for me.
Round 8 then. I must admit, through the first 4 rounds, you did wonder if Ozgul was going to get this far. It's great testament to his character and credit to his strength and fitness that not only is he here, but in each of the last 3 rounds, he has had his successes. And in fact, you perhaps give him a couple of those rounds.
I think what's been good, they haven't used it enough, is the jab of Antwi. It's been a really good weapon for him, but it's been underused.
Well, I think because of his strength, Barry, he's been able to take the distance quite cheaply, hasn't he? He's not had to earn it, but in doing that, perhaps one of his weapons he's neglected to use.
Yeah, and he's had to take a few left hooks off Ozgul because of that. Marking up now on the left eye there of Ozgul.
Yeah, that just started in the previous round. It was clipped there by another right hand from Antwi. But he landed on the front foot again.
Well, he landed with the first left hook, Ozgul, but it was just a little bit inside of the glove, so it didn't have enough impact as he would like.
And back comes Ozgul. What a fantastic effort from him.
Oh, you can't ever really second guess his commitment or his courage.
Just slightly pawing and landing with the inside of the glove with those right hands. Ozgul, he's just a bit weary.
A little bit flat-footed here, Antwi, and he's trying to bully Ozgul around the ring, and rightly so, but in that last round, when he got on the balls of his feet and started moving on the target, a little bit high energy.
Oh, right hand, he's caught him high, and that's troubled Ozgul. He caught him right on the temple, and he is in a bit of bother here. He's trying to bob and weave. Ozgul manages to buy himself a little bit of time.
He's doing the right thing there, Ozgul. You've got to hold on, you've got to try and run that clock down. But Antwi, you've got to jump all over him now.
Yeah, he's tired now. I'm not sure Antwi knows it. Perhaps he's a little tired himself after that assault. But you fancy maybe just a couple of shots away from the finish there, Antwi.
This is where that jabbing low and right hand over the top comes into play here for Antwi. The right hand that did all the damage, you've got to make space for it.
He's inside the final 10 seconds. Ozgul might have just ridden the storm.
Good survival instincts here from Ozgul, that's for sure.
He's been, no matter what's going on the cards, and you fancy Antwi's probably in a sizable advantage, he's been heroic from Ozgul.
Yeah, for me, he's a fair distance behind now, Old School, and he's been brave, and he's had successes in quite a few rounds, but it's just been size that's been the difference for him here tonight. He's fired back under pressure the best he can, but as you show there, physical size, and when Antwi landed with that right hand on the top of the head, just made the legs do a little bit of a funny dance. And also was in all sorts of trouble, but to his credit, you know, he has a good survival instincts. He kept that upper body moving, did the best he could, hold on, just trying to run that clock down. And he got himself to the bell. That's all you need to do when you get hurt. Just get yourself to the bell, get yourself back in that corner, get that minute rest.
Into the 9th round, and this on the back of the hardest round of the fight for Sia Ozgul. How about this from Ozgul?
Oh, good left hook there from Ozgul off the ropes.
He's just trying to jump into those left hooks. He's looking for a bingo punch, isn't he? Well, there's that jab that's been so absent for 5, 6, maybe 7 rounds.
And it's the best punch he throws, and he doesn't use it enough. Again there, he makes a little like double step to get close to the target, and he needed a solid left hand that would have pushed also right against the ropes. Good little shoulder turn there from Antwi, make Ozgul miss.
Yeah, he's a bit wild, Ozgul, isn't he? You can understand, he's been under so much pressure. Heavy last round, that was tough for him. And these were all those hill sprints and gym conditioning and morning runs. Absolutely essential.
But you know what? In a fight like this, mentally, it's more than anything. It really is. Good shot there from Antwi.
Well, I know what I'm like, Barry, when I'm out for a run. My brain's constantly telling me to stop and give up. And I suspect in a hard fight, are those the sort of turmoils that a boxer's going through?
Yeah, the will to win, the will to survive and everything all comes into play. Oh, what a response here from Ozgul. Brilliant.
He really has to draw. He's drawn on every single ounce of his character.
Oh, good body shot there from Antwi. Right hook to the body.
Oh, right hand gets through as well. And I don't know whether he's trying to close the gap for safety, Ozgul. It's just pure heart. He's absolutely knackered, Ozgul.
Oh, what a round. What a tough round that was.
The sort of pressure and pace of it has been a sort of high intensity all the way throughout, and Ozgul has been under pressure for most of it.
Oh, he really has, and you know, just to fight under pressure for that many rounds is really difficult. But then every now and again, he just you know, and in this round, just trying to push Antwi back the best he can, just sheer tenacity. He hasn't got the power to worry him. He hasn't got the real physical strength either, to just be honest, to push him back. It's just sheer will and tenacity that he's using now, just to try and win the round or have success in the rounds, or trying to push Antwi back, or just trying to stop Antwi from running over him.
And that he threatened to do through the early mid part of this fight, again in round 8. And here they are touching gloves as they're about to commence the start of the 10th.
Oh, good shot.
Extraordinary courage desire from Sia Ozgul, no doubt about that. He's only got the 3 stoppages in his 15 wins, Ozgul, but he's come out at the start of this 10 looking for what surely is the only result that'll bring him a win.
To be fair to Antwi, I know he's boxing a smaller guy here, but he looks not panicking under the pressure here of Ozgul. So nice and relaxed. Do I think his work rate has dropped dramatically, Antwi, in the last couple of rounds, and that might be a weight issue. But look at Ozgul having success, and Antwi not panicking, looking to fire back. Oh, good body shot.
He put a lot into the 8th, didn't he, Antwi?
Yeah.
Might have just emptied the tank a little bit when it looked like maybe he might get Ozgul out of there. And here's Ozgul on the front foot.
Might be his best round so far, Ozgul.
A little nod of the head from Ozgul as well. Another cracker in the York Hall.
This is a proper Southern Area title fight, isn't it? It really is.
It's not even a title that Antwi can win, having not made weight. It looks a title that Ozgul is unlikely to win, and yet both of them are going absolutely hammer and tongs at each other.
Oh, good shot there as well from Ozgul. And a fantastic round. Here comes Antwi now with that physical strength.
Ozgul grateful for the break. He has a little nod to his corner. They are imploring. I think they've told him how much he needs this round.
Well, you can't ask no more for what he's done in this last round here. Also, can't ask for any more.
To be honest, second half of the fight, full stop. What he's put into it. The likelihood is he's going to come up empty-handed, but boy, has he given it absolutely everything. And perhaps the closing seconds here, just a reminder of what's been the constant story throughout all of this, that Antwi just too big and too strong.
Great finish.
What a terrific little fight. And a genuinely warm embrace between the pair of them at the end of that. Terrific effort.
Fantastic, look at this, fantastic, what an effort there from Ozgul, fantastic finish. And do you know what, he nicked a few rounds in the end and made that fight closer than what it seemed it was going, to be honest. I still think that Antwi's won by a few rounds, but it looked at one point that he was not going to walk over Ozgul, it really did.
Well, every single round in the second half of the fight, you could have at one stage in that round be thinking you're going to give something, if not most of it, to Ozgul.
It's just for me, I just thought that all I told here was just the physical size of Antwi, who used it to full effect early in the fight, was bullying Ozgul, doing the right things, didn't use the jab enough, but then sort of, what was it, round 8, round 9, he really got on the balls of his feet, showed some real spark in his work, and had Ozgul in all sorts of trouble. I think that was the blueprint for the way he should fight, but the fact that he couldn't maintain that, he couldn't maintain that, just meant Ozgul just fell a little bit short, but to finish the way he did, Sia Ozgul, against a guy so much bigger than him in that last round was just absolutely fantastic, and in what Southern Area titles are all about.
Well, we wait. We're about to get the announcement. Let's head up to Terry for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both these boxers. They have finished off the show in style for us. After 10 great rounds, we go to the scorecards. Referee Lee Cook scores the bout 98 points to 93, declaring your winner, Samuel Antwi! And
Yeah,
please
98
hold your applause for Sire.
5 or so
Old
rounds.
School.
It's not a massive surprise. It does no justice at all to the effort this year Old School put in tonight, but I think it's probably fair enough on balance, Barry.
I think so, it is. And again, it's one of those fights where you just think you got no credit for some of the stuff that he did, but that's just how scoring works, I'm afraid. But it was fantastic to watch, and you know, even though Antwi, who uses the in Ireland and that sort of well, and build it up into a force.
Well, listen, we could go on all night, but I must throw to our MC for the first fight of the night, Terence Kay.
We are live on IFL TV for MTK Fight Night London, presented by Mr. Lee Eaton in association with MTK Global and MTK London. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready to see some action, make some noise! Please welcome to the red corner of the ring, Andreas Podisovs.
Well, here we go with the live fights, live commentary with Alex Needham and Barry Jones tonight in the famous old haunt. Making his way to the ring for the first of our contests for you, Andre Podisovs, who has gone on a bit of a stretch back in his native Riga, Latvia, where he's won 8 on the spin over the last 2 years at a much, much lower level, it has to be said. But he's been a thorn in the side of 1 or 2 fighters on these shores in the past. And it's very much an international heat to get things underway as we're going to welcome the Kazakh, the latest of the Kazakh Merry Band, now making their way with MTK. Podisovs, the man in the other corner tonight.
Please welcome to the blue corner of the ring, Viktor Koldichukov.
And for the first time as an MTK fighter, Viktor Kotochigov makes his way to the ring. It's a fresh start for him, and it's a new look for us at an unbeaten Kazakh fighter coming from a land where there's plenty of rich talent right now. And of course, we've got the likes of Zarbek and Ashbinov making their way as well. GGG, of course, flying the flag internationally. He's going to be back in a ring near you sometime soon. So looking forward to seeing what Kotochigov has got. He comes into this on the back of a pretty spectacular knockout last time out. Here is the tail of the tape for the opener. You can see 7 years younger Kotochigov. He's slightly the taller of the two, but only by an inch. And he was slightly heavier, as you can see, weighing just above the lightweight limit. Chances are he'll be whittling that down, perhaps to super feather in due course. He's unbeaten. Podisovs is on a bit of a run right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for 8 rounds in a lightweight contest. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He officially weighed in at 9 stone, 8 pounds and 3 ounces with a professional record of 16 wins, 5 knockouts, 10 losses and 1 draw. Wearing the black and red trunks from Riga, Latvia, please welcome Andrius Podisovs. And introducing his opponent across the ring in the blue corner. He officially weighed in at 9 stone, 10 pounds and 6 ounces with a professional record of 8 wins, 4 by way of knockout and no losses. Wearing the white trunks from Almaty, Kazakhstan, please welcome Viktor Kordichikov. Your referee at the bell, Mr. Lee Cook.
You both had your instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect. Obey my commands at all times. Defend yourself at all times. Shake hands. Good luck.
Well, the referee having to separate the pair of them before they get it on, and I was watching Kotachikov snarling at Podisovs across the ring. He was really looking forward to getting this on, and from Madison Square Garden to York Hall, it all comes alike to my co-coms tonight once again. Welcome back, Barry Jones.
I would say it's nice to be back, but let's just get on with the fight, mate.
Looking forward to seeing this guy, Kotachikov, one of the merry band of Kazakhs, signed up with MTK. And Barry, his win last time up, there was just a little hint of Golovkin about it. The way he rolled the right hand and really did turn it into the temple. It was almost like the shot that did for Rubio once upon a time. It really was amazing.
With that lifting your elbow up and chopping down, that horrible. You have to have natural power with good left hook there from Kotachikov.
Yeah, well, he's only got the 4 stoppage. That was just the 4th in his 8 so far. But it could just be with this sort of first assignment for MTK. There's no doubt that he's been slightly wasted over the last couple of years. It's only his 3rd fight in the last year and a half plus. So it's time that he got busy, settled down to business. And I suspect that's part of the look that he's bringing into the ring tonight.
But he settled right down to business here, hasn't he? He's nice and relaxed, but again, everything he throws, he lands with. Again,
they see that left hand.
Well, what you try and do? You try and punch with the front 2 knuckles, the first 2 knuckles. So you have to turn your wrist when you throw a punch, but obviously, you know, you very rarely get that. But you see these Kazakhs, they really turn right over and they want to hit that right because it obviously generates that power. It's obviously the bones are longer, so it helps from breaking your hands. That's one thing, and also it generates the power into a smaller space, which makes it more dynamic. Well,
it was the right hand that did for Peter Gudel. A lower grade fighter in truth, but that was last month in Poland. That was the first fight for some 6 months for Kotachikov. But he kind of rolled over the right hand there, and we just saw him try it with the left hook a minute or so ago. So a little bit of creativity from him through the first round.
Yeah, he just had a little skip around there, but I don't think he needs to. I think I don't want to give Podisov here any sort of momentum to come forward and get himself back into the fight. Just keep what you're doing for Kotachikov there. Nice upper body movement, pushing him back with a solid jab. He doesn't need to give any ground. I think he's better going forward like this. Still got the awareness there, take a little half a step back, make the other guy miss.
Just clipped with a little left hand that came back from Podisov. Beat Matty Fagan once upon a time over here, 4 or 5 years ago, over 6 rounds. No doubt this is a step up, I think, a step back up in class for him. Oh, I think the heads came close together there. Yeah. There's a blemish, more than that, on the right eye of Kotachikov. That was right at the end there, and I think that's turned into a cut for him.
It looks nasty as well, I've got to be honest, Alex. Right on the corner of the right eye there for Kotachikov.
And he was right at the end of the round. There you can see the mopping. It sort of looked like a graze, and suddenly you can see it's not more than that.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as I thought. They look really bad. There's a pretty clean cut there, so I think something they can work on quite comfortable. If they got a guy who knows how to work the cuts, but they don't.
Referee just watching the referee in between rounds. He did spot that. He's just telling them both about the heads, and he's gone across.
Sometimes it appears that we're reaching a period when our senses and our minds will no longer respond to moderate stimulation.
Trapped in a nightmare, in my mind everything that I might fear, and I fight to get by, get my mind clear. Everything.
Grew up in Town Farm, Council Estate in Middlesbrough. Probably just was like up and down the country for lads who grew up in Council Estate. You know, not much money in the household. A lot of crime about. Just the usual, fighting, scuffs with the law.
Wanna leave a stain on this world, on your brain. You won't ever be the same. Grab the wheel, grab the reins. Gotta talk to yourself, scare away all the pain. Are you?
I think my last 7 amateur fights, I was stopped in 4 of them. I mean, that says a lot. I mean, drink, crime, whatever else. I just wasn't focused on my boxing at all. And to be honest with you, I've sort of carried that into my professional career as well. I mean, you can see from my record and you can see from performances that boxing hasn't always been the #1 topic in my life. I mean, the people around me know the potential I've got, and the people around me also know the potential I've wasted. I've really got that desire to prove people wrong and to prove myself right now. Here we go, this is the last chapter and it's going to be a good one.
My brother, as cheesy as that sounds, he was sort of like my #1 fan. You know, he would have went to all my amateur fights and, you know, he would have sort of shouted at me if I was out drinking or, you know, not training or missing sessions. He would have cracked up and he wasn't happy. So he loved my boxing. He loved boxing in general, but he, as I say, he was probably my #1 fan. And, you know, as you say, that gives me a lot of motivation, you know, to try and do him proud. Boxing's everything to me, you know. I've been doing it since I've been 10 years of age. It's all I know, really. It's everything to me, you know. I'm so proud to be a boxer, and I want to keep going on to bigger and better things. And one day I dream of fighting and winning a world title. I've moved up here to Scotland, where I'm training with my best mates, Paddy Barnes, Tyrone McKenna, Sean McComb, even Sam Maxwell and that, and I'm training alongside them. We're all, as you say, pushing each other on, making each other work harder, competing with each other in the sprints and everything. You know, it's exactly what you want. was when I started in the Irish team when I was about 14 or 15. They were like, "What are you doing? That's not how you box." While it is unorthodox, it worked, and I could see when I was boxing other people, you know, they get frustrated at my movement and not being able to hit me. So it worked and it got results. So if it's not broke, don't fix it.
I want to reach the top. I want to be a world champion. I think that's every boxer's dream. So until I reach the top of the sport and the elite level, then I'll be happy.
Not doing what I'm told to do. Excited as the world turns on me. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a rebel. Yeah. Just not another damn copy of you. Would you dare to lose? Risk it all for the best. Never feeling perfect. As long as you can say worth it.
I grew up on a rough estate, Firthmoor, just a small estate around Darlington, one of the rough areas in the town. Growing up with 11 siblings, still see them every day, like even now. So yeah, it was good to be close to a big family. Some fighters that I watch more of, like the Miguel Cotto, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., Shane Mosley. So I watch a lot of them and I take in what they do, but I don't base my style on any in particular fighter. If you switch off for that split of a second, it's game over. You can get knocked out. So especially when small gloves on. So that's what we've been working on in the gym. Me and my coach Craig Carney, top coach, is just not switching off. I just want to be remembered as just a great role model and a great ambassador to the sport.
I'm crazy just to feel alive. Would you dare to lose?
Stay up a moment. Down.
So I'm going to just put the 5 in now.
That's up. Down a bit more. Stop. Right, just go that way a touch. Yeah.
Mike's
You
on.
don't send anything to the shot, right?
No, I've just got to put the 5 in. I think that's it.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
John, it's been 2 years since you've been out, which is obviously quite a lengthy time out. But, you know, it was a good comeback fight for you and got rid of the cobwebs, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, I've been out for 2 years. So it was just nice to get back in there, shake up the cobwebs.
You must have been raring to go for that long now.
I couldn't wait to get in there. And, you know, fair dues to him. He was a tough kid. He come and had a go. But as I said, it was nice to get the cobwebs off and on to the next one.
Was the lengthy absence due to sort of injuries or fighters pulling out, or just a very sort of different?
Bit of both, but then it was mainly to do with injury. And I was just plagued with injuries, couldn't shake it off. But we're good now, we're 100% right, and I'm ready to pick up some titles this year.
Now, you're former English and Commonwealth champion, so I do know obviously titles is on your agenda. You've talked about the British title. A couple of fights away, do you see that something being achievable?
Most definitely. I mean, I think a kid called Chris Jenkins has it now. Good win last time out against Johnny Garton. Definitely, I'd love that fight. If I got offered it tomorrow, I'd take it. So that's the fight I'm looking at. Get 1-2 more fights under my belt. And yeah, definitely, I'd love that fight in the future.
And MTK have a lot of welterweight fighters on their books, so that bodes very well for you in terms of matchups.
Brilliant. That's one of the first things I love when I come to MTK. To keep the fighters busy for one, which I've never had, and they've got a lot of welterweights, and they all have to fight each other, which again I couldn't get before. So I'm looking forward to the future.
This is quite a familiar place for you. This is now your 4th fight here in York Hall. Yeah. Must be great, obviously, you'll come back and you're here in such a great venue.
Yeah, and the rest. I've had loads of fights here at York Hall. It's like a second home to me.
In a row, yeah.
Yeah, it's a brilliant venue. You ask any fighter, it's definitely one of the best venues out there. Great atmosphere. I love it. I love boxing there. I had my first big title fight there. Brilliant atmosphere. I love it there.
Well, listen, well done on the win and good to see you back again.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Back to you, Terence.
Making his way to the red corner of the ring, Jumani Camaro.
Moving on to the second of our 3 fights at welterweight. And this is a real intriguing 8-rounder for Liam Wells coming up, because he has got a live wire opponent. In truth, on paper, this is potentially a very, very hard match so early on in the career of Wells, because Jumani Camaro has got the height and the experience, as well as the track record, to just pose 1 or 2 problems. He has lost 2 of his last 3, but he's never been stopped, and he's been in with some decent fighters, including Freddie Kiwitt, only just about a year or so ago. There was only 2 points between them that day, and we saw Freddie Kiwitt overcome Paddy Gall in a fight here at York Hall just a few months ago, live on IFL TV. So, strictly speaking, this is a big step up for Liam Wells tonight, and in his way, is going to be the man making his way into the ring right now in the shape of Jumani Camero.
Making his way to the blue corner of the ring, Liam Wells.
Well, Liam Wells is no stranger to ring walks. He made them so many times as an international competitor in the kickboxing world, where he won world titles at a couple of different weights. He's British champion in 2 separate divisions as well. So he does have that martial arts background, and often that can give a mental and physical strength of its own to a fighter. Very early on in his career now, though, as a pro boxer, just the 5th time he's made the ring walk as a pro tonight, and it's the 3rd successive occasion that we've been able to see him here at Your Call, live on IFL TV on one of the MTK shows. It's becoming something of a home fixture for him. Now Wells comes into this one on the back of a spectacular stoppage win inside a round as well. That was back in February here, and we commentated on that. You can see same age as Camero, around about the same weight as well. Slightly the taller man, Liam Wells. So this is a really interesting matchup. Looking forward to it. Some will be saying, is it too soon, too early for Wells? Well, we're about to find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for 8 rounds in a welterweight contest. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He officially weighed in at 10 stone, 10 pounds and 4 ounces. With a professional record of 7 wins, 2 knockouts and 3 losses. Wearing the red trunks from London by way of Mitcham, Surrey. Please welcome Jumani Camero. And introducing his opponent across the ring in the blue corner. He officially weighed in at 10 stone, 11 pounds and 3 ounces. With a professional record of 4 wins, 2 by way of knockout and no losses. Wearing the black trunks from Raynham, Essex, England. Please welcome Liam Wellsy Wells. Your referee at the bell, Mr. Lee Cook.
Defend yourself at all times. Keep your punches clean and on target when I to break. Do so straight away and take a step back. Shake hands.
Well, this is one of those contests that when you see the match made, whether you're a fan, pundit, commentator or whatever, you do look and you kind of second guess, and you do wonder to yourself, Barry, is this potentially a slight mistake? Big test this tonight for Liam Wells.
Oh, it's a huge test, it really is. Except against a guy who is a good operator, only being beat by good people, and it's going to be awkward as well. Oh, lovely uppercut there from Camero.
He's only got the 2 stoppage wins early on in his career, Camero, so there is that to factor in. I mean, Wells, what we've seen so far, he's got I think he's going to be in some good fights. He's not necessarily difficult to find. He doesn't have that necessarily the upright kickboxing stance. We've called a couple of his fights so far, Barry. We've liked what we've seen.
No, he hasn't, but what he does, oh, good right hand there from Wells. What he does, he squares his feet there because of the kickboxing sort of style. So he does give you an opportunity to land land flush when his feet are square, but he's game, he comes forward with a lot, lands with heavy shots, but Camero here lands with a nice little body shot and a hook as well. Nice little uppercut, sorry, through the guard.
In the closing seconds of the first round, when we were here in February, he stopped Sam Amidi, being the distance with the likes of Glenn Foot, Sam Eggington over the short distance as well. So that was quite a stoppage. He caught him with a shot right at the end of the round, and although Mead, he potentially could have carried on, he never really recovered from it.
He'll be struggling to find the target here at the minute, Wells.
Oh, nice shot. He's patient.
And again, another little hook as well off the ropes there from Wells.
Slightly ungainly style, Camaro. He ends up square on, sometimes throwing his shots too. And he's just been clipped a couple of times there by Wells, who's happy to bide his time and pick his shots.
He does Camaro, and he moves the body well, Camaro. What he does then after that, he go back in straight lines, and he just stands a little bit too tall after he moves. And he should throw something. After he does 2 movements, he should come back with a shot. Like that. A body shot there from Camaro.
Clipped a couple of times, 3 successive right hands there from Wells. I'm impressed by how careful and constructed he is and relaxed in this first round. Maybe mindful of going 8 rounds for the first time.
Good left hook there from Wells.
Just a bit untidy at the end of the first round. So plenty of those right hands have landed. There's another couple getting through from Wells.
He got away there, Wells. Just push Camaro back with the forearms. He got away with that.
Good round from Wells. Composed.
Yeah, I heard you. So, we should these.
See, I thought Camaro started quite brightly. You know, he was an orthodox, hard to get cleaned, but then just did the same movements every time in front of the target, dropping his hand, rolling the same rhythm. So I think Wells sort of timed it as the wrong went on pretty well. And what Camaro does, after he does those movements, he stands up too straight and tall. And obviously Wells has just clipped with a few hooks. And they were probably just going to have to edge in the round.
Operating here at welterweight. That's one of the divisions he won kickboxing titles in. He also won them in light welter and light middle or super welterweight, if you want to call it that.
You need to speak
as well.
And then it can still hear.
There you can see him picking that right hand, which is good. That's what you want to see. 5th fight and learning as each fight goes along. And this on paper was potentially a steep learning curve fight for him. Oh, that's fantastic. He just sat back. He's waited for the opportunity, maybe for Camaro to square himself up, and he picked the right hand.
There's no way you can leave the flat.
Well, good shot again there from Wells. What happened to Camaro then? He threw the right shot, Camaro, to lead off. But there's not enough weight beyond the shot, so there's nothing for Wells to back him up with. Just touching the target, and Wells threw the lovely shot and counter better shot in reverse.
They'll switch here. There you can see him go to southpaw, back to orthodox. I suppose just got to be careful not to get too greedy early on. Potentially still a long way to go.
Good there from Wells. Starting to push Camaro back now a little bit.
So she pressed that.
Good body shot.
It's not the end of the world. It's all just is.
But I suppose this is the sort of match, isn't it? And you know, now that the likelihood of Dubois and Joe Joyce going at it as well. Hopefully this is the culture, Barry, where we're not going to be so surprised when we start to see these matches made.
Well, I think when, when people are attached to the same teams as well, it's inevitable. You have to, but I think in this day and age, I think you have to fight to get to the top, and you get noticed now.
And I can split it
And
off
that's a good thing. You're forced to fight each other.
Split
There's
off
nothing
one
wrong
of
with
them,
that.
and then she can just have the normal headset.
Well, that's what I thought.
And also that mythical O
That's why
is not
I've
revered as much as it used to be.
Why I thought she was going to plug into that, so she could speak from that.
Let's set it up now.
Staying undefeated is not not so much meaning you're the best fighter anymore. It just means you're well matched.
No, I'm just thinking if she was to speak through that.
Vasari fights later on tonight, doesn't he? Defends his world title. I think he lost 3 of his first 4, something like that. Bernard Hopkins lost day 1, didn't he?
Joe Calzaghe. Oh, he never lost. He's from Wales. No, he did it again. Did it again. Thank you.
Oh,
good.
That was a nice little shot from Camaro,
Okay,
actually.
yeah, but then he just stands there, Camaro. He did good work, landed with a good shot, and just stands there and takes 3 back.
A study of concentration on the face of Liam Wells. 24 he is.
See, Camaro made him miss there. It was nice and low, it was right idea, but he had to come back with something. So he did all the right work, make Wells throw the punch over his head. He didn't counter.
Nice bit of sportsmanship at the end of that second round. Lots of things working for Liam Wells, man from Raynham.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
okay,
really,
yeah.
as you said, really well timed there from Wells. Camaro coming in a little bit square, timed it really well. And Camaro showing when he's under pressure, being a hard target to hit, to catch clean. But just way too often.
1, 2, 1, 2.
He's
You talking that one again?
In front of the target.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Hello, 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So she
Camero's doing a
loud.
lot of good
Are you
work
loud on
and
yours?
I'm pretty loud.
Making it difficult to hit
What about
the
now? Is
target
it still?
clean.
Is it gone lower, or
But
is it
once
still
he
loud?
gets in the range, once he gets his
No
options to do
difference.
stuff, doesn't throw enough punches.
What about now? Keep talking.
And stands with his hands down.
Is that better?
Gifted sometimes the
So
opportunity for Wells
that
to
is
to
their
land with some of
volume.
his shots.
Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2,
You
1.
change it.
Yeah, it's only their volume.
Into the third
for their-
round then.
theirs.
A couple of rounds further than Liam Wells went last time. We saw him in February. He's out here at York Hall on that Tara Foley, Akimi Ennis-Brown bill that we commentated on back in December. Went to 6 rounds with Rod Douglas Jr. that night. Made his first couple of outings at Brentwood. He's only really been a pro now for some, what is it, 7 months?
Hello, test
Very
1, 2, 1,
early
2, 1, 2.
stages.
It's not coming. It's coming through.
Especially early on in your
It
career.
is. Okay.
It's very, very
Should it
good.
be? Because I want to hit constant.
Considering boxing 6-4 rounds, you don't need you don't need to have lots of time off. So when you start doing 10 rounds now, you need more time to recover.
And if you could, Barry, I mean, at early stages of a career, you fight every month or so if you could, first year.
Depends what quality you fight now, of course. If you're in wars, depends on your style, but yeah. No problem at all.
Well, there's a noted change in the tempo from Camaro. He's
They want it like that. They want it like that.
just to try and inject a bit more intensity into coming forward.
Yeah, exactly.
He stands up in between rounds, Barry. No stool. That was nice from Wells.
Yeah, good.
Shot and then off to the side. Now pin Camaro on the ropes.
Are you sending a picture?
You know, he's landing on Camaro's, nothing really clean, nothing flush. Again, Camaro does the work. He puts a little bit of pressure on Wells, not massive, but a little bit of pressure, throws the shot, makes Wells miss, but does nothing after it. So I think Camaro does some good work, but then, you know, defensively for sure, that doesn't capitalise with the punches.
He's been 6 rounds a couple of times, 5 rounds as well, 3 of his first 4 fights. Wells.
Wells just got to bang a nice right hand right on the chest here, right on the shoulder of Camaro. Just slow that movement down a little bit. It's made it more awkward for Wells in this round, Camaro.
So obviously use the hand up. There's a zoom.
Wells is trying to commit with the right hand. Whereas before he was kind of almost sitting on, just waiting to counter with it. And Wells managed to get a free one on the way out. And Camaro trying to make it a bit more difficult that round.
But he's not landed with enough himself. He's making it awkward for Wells and making him miss and maybe a little bit frustrated. for some of the good defensive work he does, even though it's very unorthodox and natural, I think it is more than anything from Camaro. But he's not being able to throw back after he makes Wells miss, or after he rolls very low, he doesn't come back with nothing in himself. So for that, I think Wells is 3 rounds ahead now for me.
Both up, ready to get on with the next round very early. Into round 4 then. Actually, another name I should throw into the 147 mix as well. John Thane has been down at the Raptors gym in Sutton, been in a bit of training in. He's looking to get back into things. He put up I know how disappointed he was, but we saw him down at Brentwood put up a really good display against Bradley Skeet.
Yeah, he did, you know, and that was when Bradley Skeet was flying.
He was on fire,
He
yeah.
really was. Oh, lovely movement on the target there from Camaro.
And it might be that Wells is going to have to go back to the counter punching of the first 2 rounds that worked so well for him.
I just wonder whether the pressure of the last couple of rounds, even though he hasn't been landing with lots, Camaro, just when they're starting to tell here on Wells. Just doing a little bit more scrappy. Oh, good left hook there though. Out of the clinch there from Wells.
Nearly worked for him. That's kind of avoiding the first couple of punches from Camaro and then coming back with his own counters. That's kind of worked so well for him in the first round particularly.
Just landed a lovely little body shot just a minute ago here, couple of seconds ago there, Camaro. Nice little right body shot. Right hand body shot. A bit low with that hook there, Camaro.
Yeah, well, it's not quite finding Camaro so easy to hit this round.
Good left hand there from Camaro. It's good though there from Wells, nice flurry.
And the shots that do land, there's just a bit more weight on sharpness than those that come from Wells.
But even though Camaro's constantly coming forward, I just don't think he's throwing enough punches, Alex.
Or landing.
But again, he's doing a lot of the right things here. He does a load of everything wrong, actually, Camaro, but that's his style. He's very unorthodox, but doing a lot of right things. Look at that beautiful movement on the target there. It's fantastic, but doesn't capitalise on it, doesn't be able to land anything to show for that good work. Again, rolling underneath there, so that's good from him there. Nice little body shot. And again, see, making Wells miss, but not counting him back. Not making Wells pay for his mistakes. Not making Wells panic when he misses. But not enough's coming back here from Camaro. Good left hand from there. I think he lands with another one as well later on in the round. And he pushed the pace. But again, stand in front of the target after he throws a shot. And allowing Wells to unload with, they're not heavy shots, but they're 3 or 4 scoring punches.
Into round 5. Now this one's scheduled first 8 rounder for Liam Wells. He's up against Germani Camaro, who's been this distance before. They lost only narrowly to Freddie Kiewit. That was last February. He went 10 rounds as well. The Southern Area title down in weight actually against Jeff Ofori, who's a 9-0 prospect.
It's good here so far from Wells. Just maybe realising with someone with the movement of Camaro that quantity's better, maybe better over quality.
Yeah, you can see the style of Camaro that he'd be happy doing rounds.
Oh, it's nice from Camaro, lovely. Little dart in right hand.
It's an unusual style.
It really is. That's better. Making him miss, spinning around tag and then coming back with a shot there from Camaro.
Yeah, I think he's starting to enjoy himself.
Got to give Wells his credit, though. He hasn't stopped throwing punches so far in this round.
And is that it when you got it when you're up
Yeah.
against this kind of style? Is it kind of volume over accuracy?
Because what happens when you've got someone with a good upper body movement? They can make you miss with 2, 3, maybe 4 shots, not 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you have to dart them out in combinations, punches in bunches they call them, and they're effective for that. Unless you've just got some.
where the fuck I want. Hey!
What did they say? They just fucking through about here for the hotel. He is. Hotel's alright.
Where's the weight in here? Ian, where's the weight in?
Once was set up.
We'll have to take it down a little bit. We'll take on that first, so the map on the first bit. You're good to go, aren't you? That comes up. Yeah, keep that one on down and we'll come back. We should have to read that one. It's got too big up and there should be another big one. Capture found it. It's in the middle of that. We'll get some maps. We'll get the maps.
Sound like around for it, that's all that.
us already. Yeah. I'm not sure. What time is it? 10:06. 10:06 for the first one. I think we're live. Well, we're live from then. Yeah, we're live straight away. But first 3 or 4 are. Well, they are. It's not proper. Right, we'll have to bring this one in a bit. Bring it just. There we go. Well, the M2 is on power. Just thinking whether we put one more on an angle. For ours. It's the ring guys, corner guys. How many? There's 2, 4, and there's one more over there, isn't there? We might not need it. Actually, yeah, we will use it because it's the main corner.
Smells kind of gross, but they're kind of great at the same time.
The smell? Yeah.
Smells good.
It smells so gross. It's all my
I've seen a bedroom, a man, that would be up in the post soon after we get it. Sounds like a work badge on Bridge, but it might be 2 months back. You would get before that anyway, so just charge that enough.
I'll still plug it. Right, yeah.
I'm just going to make sure.
Terry off.
Coming through.
1, 2, 3, 4. Check him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
So it's not rocket science in that all I'm doing is
1-2.
Fucking t-shirt.
1-2, 1-2.
I wouldn't even take that. Fucking fine.
So, Paul, you think she'll just want the commentators?
I think she'll just want to listen to comps, yeah. She'll want to listen to what they're talking about, and, you know, so she can then go...
She'll pick up a few bits on
Yeah,
it.
she'll go like, oh, so
Or does she want to listen
in the second round...
take anything from us?
I don't think so. I think there's no point.
Because I've got that, she can have...
Because what's the point when she can't put them on when she's doing a stuff to camera? Exactly. No point. Just let her listen to comms, and I'll talk her through why she hasn't got anything else.
She's got. I mean, she can have it.
This is her, yeah.
That's hers if she wants it. That's got talkback on it. And
she can talk to you if she wants to.
yeah. And I'll get an extension and I'll extend it so she's got the option then of either or. I've hooked her both. So that's just the commentators.
Oh right, she can't get. She's got the best of both, is it?
Yeah.
Man, don't. She wants in her ear. She wants an area monitor where you've got.
I need to know what's.
Can't see the earpiece.
Have you got a run order with like the weight class? Like as in welterweight, cruiserweight, all that. There's like nothing like that on the poster. What he said.
I've got the weight.
Yeah. Can you? What's it?
Weighing on Fonzo, the other one that's weighing you.
Okay. Do you know what weights they are or what categories though?
Will be. The colours should be back.
Right, so where is it? Yeah, I have that super band away, yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, just want me to leave that with you.
Did you send me that just now?
No, the thing of it in the weight. Oh yeah, I said yeah.
No, you sent it to me, right? But here, what's this? The first fight is a cruiserweight, is it? Pavel versus Adam Gare.
Yeah.
Cruiserweight, yeah? Okay. The second one is John Green.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
Light welter.
Light welter.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah?
Well, 9-12, so I light welter or light welter. They're coming over lightweight, so I'd say light welter.
What? Oh no, too much distractions. They're usually over the far side. Darren Ree. Is it Ree, is it?
Ray, I think.
Ray.
Yeah. Light welter again.
Okay. Nurtas Ashmanov.
That is...
Versus Boris.
There's 3 VTs, but there's also adverts.
What's forward weight items like? What's on the site?
Yeah?
So let me get some running orders. Well, I'll get some, but
So there's 5 adverts.
Okay. Next one up is Jay Hughes.
Light welter again. Same way.
Yeah, they're all 6 fucking rounders.
well, you can play them. You don't need to play them in between fights.
Okay. Next up we have Simon Valini.
Everywhere.
Next up we have Chad Ellis.
10-11, what's that? Middle?
No fucking no.
151.
Light middle. You sure? Yeah.
Well, it's like they're not coming in on weight, are they? So like technically, Chad Ellis is a welter, but he's coming in at light middle. He's coming in on 147.
Yeah, so it's light middleweight. Yeah, if it's a difference, if I get a running order that's down, if it's changed, there's no major thing. I just want to have something for the sake. The main event is good anyway, that's super welterweight. Right? Then we have Joseph Laws.
Super welterweight, say no.
Super.
Yeah, super welterweight.
So
that last one, we like.
That was super well away as well, yeah.
Yes, super well.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell. Just go down over the top. I can tell. No, yeah, I can tell from the key. I can be there. I can hear you. John's like you now.
Troy Williamson.
When I open there, you'll feel all of our
Three, so that middleweight.
Middleweight.
So yeah. Okay, well, just identify where you want to put them in.
Then we have Lawrence Osekwe. Is that what you call him, would you? Osekwe.
What's 30, so what's that? 10.
Good. We were talking to Alex Steve. Can you farm on? About
182.
Yeah, yeah. The best time to be him.
Is it quite heavyweight or they're coming at cruiser?
So that's a cruiser.
Yeah.
I'd call that light heavy though.
Would you?
For the come-ins,
Yeah.
£7 on the light heavy, but yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
When you get the next week, that's the last one.
Yeah.
I think that's a float boy anyway.
Yeah.
Right, now I'll get them weights down off that thing you said.
But yeah, enough late, I'll let you know.
Here, if you see a running order, is that a running order, is it?
No, wristbands. No, only running orders, isn't it?
If you see a running order, you don't really have a white sheet. If you use a white sheet, it has everything written on it. If you do that one, give us a shout, yeah?
That's going to be difficult. Let's see what they've got to say. Yeah. Can we sound check? Shall we do a sound check and all that? Yeah, I'll do a sound check. Yeah, I'll
Look, just get my passes.
I've got nothing for you, mate.
Great.
Are you doing the sound check now today? I'll go to about to make sure.
What's a shell? Shell. Yeah, it's a shell. You gotta get up and running.
Yeah, we can do it running.
When do you want to do the sound check?
bollocks. Yes. Fucking brilliant. Right, well, do you think he's out of the van now, do you? Yeah. 1, 2, testing 1, 2. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Testing 1, 2. Pole to pole. Testing 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen. Pole to pole.
period when our senses and our minds will no longer respond to moderate stimulation.
Trapped in a nightmare, in my mind everything that I might fear, and I fight to get by, get my mind clear. Everything.
Grew up in Town Farm, Council Estate in Middlesbrough. Probably just where it's like up and down the country for lads who grew up in Council Estate. You know, not much money in the household. A lot of crime about. Just the usual fighting, scuffs with the law.
Wanna leave a stain on this world on your brain. You won't ever be the same. Grab the wheel, grab the reins. Gotta talk to yourself, scare away all the pain. Are you?
I think my last 7 amateur fights, I was stopped in 4 of them. I mean, that says a lot. I mean, drink, crime, whatever else. I just wasn't focused on my boxing at all. And to be honest with you, I've sort of carried that into my professional career as well. I mean, you can see from my record and you can see from performances that boxing hasn't always been the #1 topic in my life. I mean, the people around me know the potential I've got, and the people around me also know the potential that I've wasted. I've really got that desire to prove people wrong and to prove myself right now. Here we go, this is the last chapter and it's going to be a good one.
Are we all to blame? We should feel ashamed. It drives me insane. It feels like
comp